They all inspire and create me. Filter these words through my senses. I'm privileged to be allowed to share them in a thoughtful, creative way. This is entitled, What Would You Do? Often we ponder and bottle up our thoughts in the hope we will understand them by and by. We won't. At least, not in this world. So we find coping mechanisms, some good, some not so good. This saying is not a solution, but a resolution to accept the things I cannot change those things I can, and have the wisdom to know the difference. My grandmother kept that serenity prayer posted up on her wall at her home. This was before Facebook went online. She had her own version of Facebook, her face and her book, the Bible. What would you do if your mom went away and was still there? How would you deal with a reality you can feel, but can't comprehend that world where the brain separates from the mind of remembrance? What would you say if she spoke to you as her nemesis in a no-win argument way, and your anger rises with the tide of frustration, and the unanswered "why are we even doing this?" is on display? How would you feel if you looked at her stare and wondered, where is your mother, and how could we recover those days when our world was right and not uptight and baffling? What would you do? What would you say? How would you feel? Is this Twilight Zone really real? How would you cope thinking that this could one day be you asking your children, what did I just do? What did I just say? Would you cry? Would you sigh? Or would you do all the above while asking why? What would you do? What would you say? How would you feel? How would you go about finding a way to slow down the madness, reduce the sadness into a crusade of gladness, finding ways to laugh and joke as a way to cope, pinpointing the bless in this mess that is allowed to flourish in the fallen world where people age and eventually die? Why ask why? We mourn our loss, yet they are free to fly away from the fray and chaos of a memory lost. The God I serve knows why. What would he do if your mom went away and was still there? Would he care? What would he say to her unhindered words and distracted ways? Would he be unfazed? How would he feel knowing your mom's reality no longer exists? Would he resist the change? The truth remains that he would be unchanged by life's twists and turns. Instead, he would inspire a burning desire to lift him up even higher, despite all the limitations of our earthly vessels, in which we all constantly wrestle to maintain control, even as we grow old. By his men of old, we are told we have a home not made by hands, where the mind expands, not disbands, into fragments, discombobulated, a body that is free from this earth's debris, not one that withers and dries up like a raisin in the sun. That was borrowed from one of the great ones. He would say, walk this way. I got this. You just say what I say. Rejoice and be glad. It won't always be this way. I'm doing a new thing. Don't cry. Don't sigh. Don't ask why. Release. Relax. And rely. I won't let her down. I won't let you down. This is just a temporary test. That's the definition of the word mess. Hey, I'm mad too, but not at you. So I did the one thing I could do. I reversed the curse. That's right, you heard it. I said it, and I did it. I disturbed it. The word has made her whole. You don't see it yet. That's okay. Pollution does that. In me, here's what you get. A new body, a new home, a new world where you're not alone. You get a new life with no strife and a mind not ravaged by time. You get to stay free forever. So lock in your slot, cause I've got a lot to share. My child, I will always care. So, this is what you do when your mom goes away and is still there. Are you ready for it? Just smile.